This is a spoiler-free review, so feel free to watch the whole thing. Hello everybody, Digfig here, and welcome to my 106-hour review of Starfield. I have barely scratched the surface of this game. You'd probably have to put like 1,000, 2,000 hours into it to get like a real solid playthrough, but we'll get there. So right now, this is my early review with only 106 hours played. Now for all you number chasers out there, let's get this right out the way. We're gonna do two numbers here. There's a Bethesda score and there's an everything score. The Bethesda score, I think this is a 10 out of 10. For me, it's the best game they've ever made. I am kind of biased towards sci-fi though. I absolutely love sci-fi. Like, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is probably the best game ever made, or one of the best games ever made. And I put it down immediately to play this because it's sci-fi and I just addicted to sci-fi. Now, I think they went backwards on a few systems, like the Outpost system and Fallout and stuff I think is better than this, and I hope they patch that in. But overall, I think they've improved way more systems and they've downgraded, and overall, it is just an absolutely fantastic game from Bethesda Studios. Congratulations on getting some of your mojo back. The dreaded Digfig number. Let's give a little bit of perspective here. A middle of the game road for Dig is a 5 out of 10. Middle of the game road for modern day gaming review sites is a 7 or 8 out of 10. I don't know how it got skewed so far to that side. With that being said, I think this is an 8 out of 10. That's like a 10 out of 10 or an 11 out of 10 at gaming review sites. I think this is an absolutely fantastic game. I find myself staring off into space, wondering why am I taking points away from this game? Why is it not a 10 out of 10 on the Dig scale? And one of the first things that pops to mind is the facial animations of the characters. Their voice actors did such a wonderful job. Their story writers did a very good job on many of the quests in the game. There's some bad ones, but there's a lot of good ones. And I get the limitations. I get how hard it would be to do great facial motion capture with emotion and stuff, but it is something we've come kind of accustomed to in video games nowadays, where this feels, I hate to say it, very Bethesda, a step back, like very 2010s, very even before that, and it hurts the game. I almost close my eyes and just prefer to listen to the voice lines and imagine something different in my head, and that shouldn't be a thing nowadays, but unfortunately the bar has been raised, and if you don't meet it, it just hurts. It hurts your game. And then the next thing that comes to mind is inventory management. This might be a more personal one, but I have never liked Bethesda's loot system. Talked about it a little bit before. On a PC, it feels so clunky, and there's a mod out there for inventory UI, which looks absolutely amazing, and I really want to try it, but I'm not ready yet to mod the game and disable my achievements and things like that. I will do modded playthroughs, trust me, I think we all will. But for now, I've never liked Bethesda's inventory management. They keep it the same across all the games, and it feels just as shitty on PC as it did 10 years ago. It's unfortunate that they can't modernize the game for PC, even though I know they have to make it console friendly. It just hurts. While still zoned out in the middle of space, my mind then jumps to Outpost building. It's a huge downgrade. The Fallout system where you can move items while moving your character to get fine details, the snapping to grid, the unsnapping to grid, to be able to free place, locking things in place. I've had issues on the planets where it's like inaccessible terrain, and then I go back later and it is not blocked terrain to build things. It just feels like a step backwards on systems that the company already had experimented with, played with, and used. It doesn't make any sense to me. And then my mind shoots over to planetary exploration, this convoluted and messy system we have going on, where I think there's some positives, some negatives. I don't give it points for it. I don't take away points, but I kind of do, but I kind of give them points. It's this weird mess. I think there's like 3 big things people are having issues with. There is the surface to space transition. There is the invisible wall borders where we have to like go up and fly back down to explore more. And then there's just the point A to point B travel. So let's start with the space to ground transition and the ground to space transition. The little cutscene isn't the worst. You look at games that don't have that and you can seamlessly fly between it, and it's not freaking great either. In No Man's Sky, you know where you want to go, you point at the direction you want to go, you fly straight up, you spam the travel key until you're outside of atmosphere. It takes longer, it's kind of a pain in the ass, it gets super repetitive, and it's not great either. Its immersion is a little bit better, but like, there's no real good way, I think, to translate the reality of space to planet in a timeful, meaningful manner that doesn't become repetitive and that we enjoy as play gamers. So I don't think they could win on this one. I truly don't, and that's an unfortunate scenario. Those pesky invisible walls while trying to explore a planet. If you run long enough in a straight line, you will hit an invisible wall and it will not load the next tile. Why? I don't know. So many other games have done this. There must be some issue on their end between hardware, software, coding, somewhere in there. Something doesn't like it because someone made a video of removing the invisible wall and it does load the next tile, but then eventually it crashes your whole freaking game. So there must be some problem back there, and it does kind of suck. And like the system they have is you fly back to space and fly back to the ground. It's like, why not just make it so if you hit the invisible wall, you can just load into the next tile? You give us loading screens all over the place. It's a loading screen simulator a lot of the times. Why not put one here? Don't make no sense to me. And like you can meta break it where your ship just lands in the nearest pad, just comes back down, and your crew member flies it over to you just so you're always near. For radio communication could be your excuse. There you go. I just fixed that, and it doesn't even like super detract from your score. Oh, then there's the personal one to me. I've probably spent the most time in this game. My first like 20 hours was just exploring the first planet, running from point A to point B. And it feels bad. You just pack some stims in you to run really fast. Your character animation looks like you're freaking the Roadrunner. It's ridiculous. And then you use the jetpack to just kind of increase the distances before you have to sprint, use less stamina. And that's how they tell you to get around fast. But like, it feels like shit. It's a long run sometimes across shitty terrain, and it doesn't feel great. Now, people want ground vehicles or mounts, and it's like some of these mountainous areas, that would be an absolute catastrophe. It would suck. It would be really weird. It would be jank. And the single best planetary exploration game I can think of is Mass Effect. The Mako vehicle is probably the best ground vehicle I've ever seen in any game for space exploration. I don't know what they did there, but it's a godsend. Prove me wrong that it's the best vehicle ever. I don't think that would fit in this game because it came with some jank, and I just don't think they needed it. But like, compromise would be like maybe a detachable shuttle from your ship where you can land it anywhere. I think that'd be a good compromise for getting around a little bit quicker, because the whole just jacking yourself up on stims and running as fast as you can looks like shit, feels like shit. Like, fix your crap. But the random encounters, the interactions, the zones you have, the things you find, I think are wonderful. A lot of people think it's completely void and empty, but I actually really like the views. I love exploration. I think it's great. They just need to fix the how long it takes to get from base to base running, or just some other way. You can space them out to make it the same time, but just make it feel better. It feels bad running. And the last thing that pops into my mind for possible negatives is the NPCs and AI. What do you mean by that, Dick? Your companions, their dialogue is very repetitive. They talk a little too much, and they don't have enough diversity of lines while you're traveling around with them. You hear a lot of the same things and a lot of contradicting things. Like, you'll go into a place and it'll be like, oh, it's so great to be back. And then the next time you go into the exact same place, it'll be like, I never thought I'd see myself here. And you're like, that's contradicting to what you just previously said, you dumbass. And it detracts a little bit from your companions. I've yet to find one I'm really, really attached to. It's like, as a new dad, I'm kind of attached to the one with the daughter that travels around with you. I think it's Sam. I don't even know his name. Then you have the overall AI of the enemy. Your NPC is never with you because I don't think they get the speed buffs or jetpack buffs you do. So you'll end up somewhere in combat and he'll still be trying to catch up, and it doesn't feel great. Just have him teleport behind you every X amount of feet and just don't have it see it so it doesn't clip in. So it's just like he's just always behind you somehow magically, and you don't even know how. That's a great fix for that. Then the enemy AI. There's moments where I'm like, wow, they are doing a really, really good job. And there's moments where it's like, you are just standing there letting me kill you. That is stupid as hell. I don't know what they've done, but it's still better than some of the previous games, but it still feels a little jank. That being said, I have been playing specifically and only on the very hard mode, and I think it is a very different game from what I have seen compared to what other people have been playing. And I cannot wait to try some of those extreme combat mods where it's like ×6 damage to both of you in real realistic combat, and some of the AI mods. It's gonna be an amazing game! Another neutral point that doesn't take away or add anything to this game to me is the pacing. A lot of modern games are just, oh, let's get in there and do shit, super hyperactive. There's no slow burn. There's no developing a story. There's no, it's just charge, full blast. And this game is much more old school. It's a slow burn. You'll get attached to some things. You'll dislike some things. You'll like some things. And that's just, it's a different type of experience. And that's not for everyone. But for me, I don't care either way, either super packed or slow burn. They're both great if the game's good. I'm going to quickly touch on performance here. I have a pretty good PC, like a 3080, and some other good hardware in here, and I record on the exact same PC I play on, and I've been sitting at 60 to 70 FPS 85 to 90% of the time. There's some of the major cities where it drops down to 30 to 50 FPS. And I've only had 2 game interfering bugs that I can think of. One was I couldn't build anything at my outpost. It was super easy to fix that. And the other one is a stutter every time you pull out your cutter or your scanner. And I made a video on how to fix that. Neither of them took too long to figure out. And out of a Bethesda game, that's not that many performance issues. Now, I've seen a lot of people complaining that it's not optimized, that it runs like shit on their freaking hardware. I have friends on Discord who have pretty decent PCs and they've had a lot more issues than me. So all I can do is say my experience here, and I have had 2 bugs and 3 crash to desktops in 106 hours, which, like a new game, I think that's pretty damn solid. But enough about all the bad stuff. Holy crap, it's Starfield! It's amazing. The combat, whoa, that feels good. The gunfights are amazing. AI could use a little bit of work here and there, but then sometimes the AI is freaking glorious at the same time. It just feels very Bethesda. The gun feel, the gun play, the gun customization, woo, it feels good. Then Starships, we can fly around Starships. Not only can we fly around Starships, we can make our own Starship. We can make our own S7. We can make our own, we can, whatever we want. You can have your ship, and it's the main character. Bethesda, you need to find a way to market this. Sell 3D printed models of each module. I know that would be absurdly expensive, but like people are gonna get so attached to certain ships. Oof, it'd be gorgeous. Oh, it'd be so much better than your watch you tried to attach us to. And then there's the stories. Some aren't that great, but if you don't like that one, do another one. There's so many stories. It's great. And the voice actors, so many of them did such a good job, but then they gave you faces and just, I'm looking at you. I swear, I'm giving you a quest. The AI faces kind of suck. By the way, the voice actor, she did a wonderful job. Bravo to you. Here's some flowers, have some stuff. Great. Throw them up on stage. You guys did wonderful in this game. Oh, just Starfield. I'm in love with it. I love the exploration. Even though I have my complaints about getting from point A to point B, the bases, the clutter, the ground, the spaces I've lived in, the lore, the audio logs, it just all feels so good. The diversity of quests, the big cities feel so alive. Oh, they just did such a good job. And all of this is through the rose-tinted glasses of I love sci-fi. And if you love sci-fi, that's like an automatic +1 or +2 points because it's just a good sci-fi game. Spaceships, lasers, rifles, aliens. It's just freaking amazing. Oh, I love it. It's so good. I'm so hyped for this game. So excited. Have been. I'm enjoying the crap out of it. Want to keep playing it. But enough of my rambling. Usually my videos are a minute long and it feels weird talking this much, but I don't know how to do these. I've never been great at them, but these are just my thoughts on the game. It's great. Play it, buy it. If you love it, get to it. Now, 1,000-hour review? Let's do that. We'll see how things change. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Out! Can you tell I'm excited about the game? I am. Love it. I'm gonna go play it now. Bye.